Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everyone here today for this May 18th meeting. We always start off with a prayer and a pledge, and so today we're going to ask Commissioner Green to lead us in the prayer and Commissioner Gardner to lead us in the pledge.
Let's pray. Father, as we come before you today, we come with thankful hearts, thanking you for every blessing that you have bestowed on us. And Father, we thank you most of all for forgiveness of sin. Pray that you'll help us today to make decisions that's best for the county and fair to all the citizens. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here, a motion we approve the agenda for today.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Not an agenda add other than under the amendments we have later, we have a request from the Finance Director on a reimbursement resolution for soil and water vehicle and the corresponding amendment.
Okay.
We can add in with what I've given you already.
Administrative?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Moving along then with on our appointments today, we have the Fire Department Service District request, and leading off today with our fire departments, we have first of all Nebo Volunteer Fire Department, and we have Assistant Chief Rodney Roland here with us today. Rodney, if you want to, you can have the podium and do your presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Paul, for letting us attend and move forward here. So just this is kind of a little brief. So 15 years ago, Nebo Fire Department come before the county commissioners and asked for a 2% increase. That was to build a new fire department EMS space at our station. 5 years later, we come back and ask for another penny to allow to hire a full-time position. Back to our department. In the last 10 years, we have added additional paid staff for a total of 2 employees. And we do 12 hours. So we started out as basically just a 40-hour week. So we kind of like everybody else, we went to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So in that 15 years, we have bought 3 new trucks, maintained our equipment. We bought the fireboat, and so basically we are coming to y'all for another penny to allow us to hire another full-time position, be a Monday through Friday administration to the office. Basically this position, I'll stop right there, this position is going to be to hopefully help us. So mutual aid will always keep somebody at our station. Medical calls, if we have to have somebody drive, it'll be to try to keep somebody at our station. To help us keep our paperwork with all of our ISO inspections. It gets harder and harder every year. We all know that. Plus, this position will actually help us man the station on weekends when we have vacation. It'll help us keep, hopefully, somebody there more. Monday through Friday, we'll have 2 guys. Weekends, your volunteers more around. We all know that. So that's kind of what this position is going to be, to try to help us keep the station more manned and not taking our only man that we have out of our district during our daytime hours. So kind of an administration position. This will allow us to have us 2 guys and keep our station manned at all times, daytime calls. Most volunteers can only run evening and night calls. You know, back years ago when Drexel Hurt was around, he'd have a fire call, they bailed out the windows. You know, you can't do that no more. So, you know, we're all in that position. This whole county's in that position. So to make a long story short, that's why we're asking for the extra penny. We're running at 28 volunteers, 2 paid staff. We actually have 2 part-timers. And at the bottom there's kind of a rundown of the tax increase. So a $150,000 house you're looking at about $1.50 a year increase. And I went all the way up to a $500,000 house, which of course they're gonna see a $50 increase. And I know around the lake, we probably got some, actually I was riding around the lake yesterday looking, I'd like to know the most expensive house we got on the lake, James. I mean, it may not be in our district, but I know we probably got some probably $9 million houses. I would be afraid to say what's there.
Wow.
But that's what this is about, is trying to help us to move forward. I feel like we've not asked for a lot throughout the years. Hopefully, when we do this and get settled in, our building's gonna be paid for. We can start adding more staff and using that money. We've got a new truck coming. But that's what this is about, is trying to help us keep manpower in our district and help with administration paperwork. It gets harder and harder paperwork every year on ISO ratings, and now that's went every 5 years. Like I said, you got fire hydrants inspections and tests and all your pre-plans, and so y'all have any questions for me?
What was the,
I don't have a
I
paper either.
probably forgot, huh?
Oh, no, we're good.
What was the term on the lease on that property down there? What was the?
20 year.
20 years, so when does that come up?
We're actually in the year 15. So we got 5 more years.
And so what's the probability of keeping that?
I think that's of course that's gonna be y'all's decision, but we're planning on keeping it. I'm gonna say that. The only thing that we're gonna have to look at probably in that lease, and we've talked about this, is, y'all pay, correct, it's $40,000. I think it's every quarter. And I might be wrong, maybe I'm backwards on that. Do you remember what that lease is?
It's not
It's
that.
it's 40,000 total for a year, 40,000 total for a year.
Yeah.
And then once that paid off, the only thing is gonna be there is go back to basically, and we told y'all, basically it's gonna go to a maintenance fee. Just to help us just keep it up. Cause we've painted it 3 times now, we've put a refrigerator in, and that's all coming
But
out
the
of
owner,
our budget.
after that 20 years, they have the right to run us off, don't they?
Sure. Yeah.
That's what's scary.
We have no intentions.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I mean, and that's something that maybe in the next couple of years, we need to start looking at another lease term.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll say one thing, that you're all our fire departments are very respectful when they approach the board for an increase, because when they come, they demonstrate why they need the money. So I'm totally in support of all 3 departments today. And I want to say I didn't get to go to the dinner the other night, to the meeting, and I apologize for that. But anyway, I do want to say I appreciate what y'all do. And Mr. Chairman, how do you want to do one department at a time, or do them all 3 as one group?
I think we need to just go ahead and hear all 3 of them. And, we don't have everyone here today, so we don't have to take action today. We can, if that's what y'all prefer.
I'm
Here we
ready to
can.
take action.
Okay.
You said the other night, do you remember how many calls you had last year?
Last year, we're right at 800 calls. I actually have this right here. I actually have my notes from the other day. So in 2021, we was running 457 calls. In 2024 was 793. And then this year, we're all over. We're at 711 already this year. So you're looking at a 30% increase, in almost basically a 5-year, time frame there. And we ain't the only one. It's all over the county, because we talked about it the other night. We're like, where's it coming from? Where's these calls? How did you go 30% in 5 years? It's amazing when you start looking. And I'm a numbers person, and when you start looking at numbers, you're like, how in the world? We're running these calls like crazy. So, but and I said the other day, I think every department in here, and she made a awesome statement that we could tell you what we have, what we do, but I highly encourage. I would love to have a field trip, come out and visit these departments and look, because the equipment that we buy that you guys have no earthly idea, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, because I don't, because we gotta have it to maintain. We gotta have it to run. You know, how much hose we have on trucks. I mean, you know, we got 1,000 foot of 5-inch on every engine and 1,000 foot of 3-inch, you know, and that's just piddly. So it's amazing what we spend. And of course, when you say fire, everything doubles in price, you know, on top of that. So, but absolutely, if I can help y'all get you any numbers, anything. It's kind of my first time here, so I'm a little nervous, but like I said,
You did a good
great.
job.
I was just asking for the public to know. I mean, that 711 calls so far this year, you know, it really justifies the
Yeah.
increase in the amount of power that you
that's
need.
just a little old Nebo.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna want somebody in Nebo
Yeah.
when you hit 911, so.
So
thank
you're
you.
going ahead and take
Yeah.
an action today?
Well, I mean, I can make a motion per each request, or I can wait and make the motion at the end of our request, but it's a different fire department, so I don't do them one at a time.
All right, do them one at a time, if that's the
Okay, I
pleasure.
make a motion to approve the request by the Nebo Fire Department to increase their rate by 1 penny, or .01.
Second.
Motion, second discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There you go. Thank
Thank
you,
y'all
sir.
for y'all support. Thank y'all
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
All right, next on the agenda, we have PG, and so we have Mr. Chief Neil Settlemyre here with us, and also, I don't know whether Brian, was you gonna speak?
He may in just a minute.
Okay,
Brian takes care of all our call reports and that stuff, so he may
Okay.
fill in for something I might have forgot.
Okay.
But guys, thanks for hearing us today. All the stuff I'm getting ready to talk about is things that have been made possible by you guys. 6 years ago, we asked for a 2-cent increase. And everything I'm getting ready to talk about is directly related to that. I don't know, do you guys have this paper in front of you?
Yes, sir.
I
It's
do.
the letter you sent.
Yeah, it's the letter I
Yes,
sent.
sir. They have it. in the
yeah, we've
packet.
got it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna highlight what we've done here. Over the last 6 years, PG's made great strides in providing best possible fire rescue and basic life-saving services for the community of PG. Some of the accomplishments to date, we added a 7,500-foot addition to our facility, became the first department in the county accredited in heavy rescue, water rescue, ag rescue, and high angle and medical responder certifications. And we've maintained that since then. We purchased a heavy rescue truck, which is like our pride and joy, really. We're really proud of that piece of equipment. Purchased a used engine, purchased a new TAC vehicle, that is a Chevrolet 2500 pickup truck. Received a new UTV through the FEMA grant, and we were awarded a grant to purchase an exhaust mitigation system through the AFG grant. And what that does, that reduces the carbon emissions from our vehicles. Because we have paid staff, we have to have that for the cancer initiative. So that was big for us. There's two of our biggest accomplishments are the fact that we reduced our ISO rating from a 5 to a 4. That is a huge deal for the citizens of PG and the consumers and anybody else who travels through, and especially the businesses. That's a big insurance savings for them, and we would like to keep that. We were almost a 3. We were really strong 4, almost a 3, and that's our next goal. The other thing we managed to do with increasing our paid staff was reduce our response time. Our response time now, from the time the alarm goes off to the time we get a truck en route, is generally less than a minute and a half, which is really good. Prior to that, it could be up as much as 10, 12 minutes because we had volunteers coming from different parts of the county. That's something we're super proud of, something we strive to make better. Right now, we have 4 paid staff. We got one of them that works Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 3:30. Then the other 3 work a 24-hour rotating shift. To go along with that, we've got 9 part-timers, and we're able to staff 1 extra part-timer per shift So 90% of the time, we have 2 people there 24/7. And that helps us a lot. Sometimes we have 3. It depends on the day it hits. Depends on who we can get and when we can get them. We also have 31 volunteers. This paper says 29, but we've took on 2 since then. Volunteers are just simply what they are, and I'm not downgrading them. I really appreciate their service, but not everybody can get off work like they used to. They can't respond at 2 o'clock in the morning because they have to go to work early, and being able to keep that paid staff helps greatly. It benefits everybody here. Our future plans, first thing is hiring more paid staff. Second thing is adding a substation. That's something we really want to do. Part of our community right now is outside of our 5-mile district, so they don't get the same rating. They don't get the 4. They're still considered a 9S department or 9S rating, and that insurance rating is pretty high. Other thing we want to do is buy a brush truck, a new brush truck, and a used ladder. McDowell County right now only has 1 ladder truck. That happens to be Marion. If they're tied up on something, and it is a possibility, we have to ask for asphalt, and that's a long ride. Or Parkway from Spruce Pine. By no means would we buy a new one. That truck would cost $1.5 million or better. But we're looking for a good used ladder truck within the near future. To accomplish that though, we want to ask for 2 cents. I feel like the last 2 cents that we asked for, we've done a lot with. And to continue growing, keep our paid staff up, and buy the equipment we need to keep providing the best service we can, we're going to need that to go farther. It's something we didn't want to do. By no means do we ever want to come up and ask for money from the citizens. And we talked about that a long time before we did it. But we feel like that's our only option at this point. One of the other expenses we have, and I didn't mention, is just our health insurance. For the 4 employees that we have right now, we pay over $40,000 a year for health insurance. And that's something we provide for them. And we know that when we hire paid staff now, it's going to cost us, a full-time paid person with loaded benefits is almost $100,000. So we have to be very careful with what we do and how we spend our money. And I feel like we've done a good job so far, and we will continue to do so. Our board of directors is really good at making sure we only spend what we need to and where we have to. Any questions for me?
Do you know how many calls you did last year?
Almost 800. And like Nebo, from 2020, from pre-COVID, we're up probably 50 to 60% of what we used to run.
Wow.
If I could say on that, I'm not sure how all the departments do, but our calls, when we report to state, we do January 1 to December 31st. Some departments follow along with fiscal year.
Yeah.
But we reported our training hours and everything to the state, January 1 to December. Right now, we're on a pace at PG to hit 1,000 calls for the year.
And that's
Our
gonna,
pace right now.
yeah, that's up 200 from last year.
And we do a lot of mutual aid calls, Marion, Woodlawn, Old Ford,
Crooked Creek.
Crooked Creek, North Cove, Hankins.
We will go to
Sure
Yancey
do.
County as well.
Yes, and we run a lot with Yancey County on the Parkway. We have assisted Old Ford in the last year, 2 years. We've assisted them with 3 major vehicle accidents with our heavy rescue truck. So, and you know, I know, and I'm sorry, I hope I'm not overstating.
Oh, you're fine.
We have, I've also talked with a lot of our citizens in the community. They have asked questions about, you know, what's this equipment? What's this equipment? And what's the need for it? And, you know, it's like I tell them, we're not just going out there just blowing the money to buy a piece of equipment, but we're looking into the future also. We have this equipment on hand to where, Mr. Chairman, we come to your house, we've got that equipment if we ever need it. We're not having to wait on somebody else. It's just like a fire truck. You hope you never have to pull that truck out of the bay. You hope it just sits there so you never have to use it. But any other equipment that we buy, we hope we never have to use it. But I would rather be proactive than reactive. And again, that's why we're coming to you. Neil has showed what we have done in the last 6 years. And I think you've seen in our letter what our plans are for the future. And again, we all have to ask the community, but when I do talk to the community, they're like, oh, that's the fire tax, that's for our protection. We're good with that.
And too, you know, when you can tell them in the community that you went from a 5 to a 4, and then I know the businesses, I mean, they get benefit from the 5 on down, because residential stops at 5, right?
6.
Residential stops at
6. So then you got you going down, and the businesses really helps them out tremendously too. So I think you're doing a great job.
We have 3 big industries in our district too, so that benefits them a lot.
Mr. Chair, make a motion, if there's no other questions, that we approve the request as presented and increase the rate to the 13 cents.
Second.
A motion and a second. As far as discussion, I would like to comment that the heavy rescue truck that y'all have is really impressive. I know y'all are proud of it, and we're proud that you have it. How many departments in the county has one of those
A
trucks?
heavy rescue truck?
Yeah,
4, I think.
4. I think doesn't Sugar Hill, Mumford Cove have
Sugar
one?
Hill,
and
Marion.
Marion and
Do you guys have a rescue? And Old Fort.
Fort.
And North Coast. So there's 5.
Yeah, there's 5. Okay, but that's pretty impressive. But anyway, and I would like to see personally, because I'm at the end of that. I'm at the end of the line on the. I guess whatever you'd call it, the
Our 5-mile district.
district, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't really help me that much right now on my insurance, but I would love to see another. I would love to see another.
Yeah, there's quite a
station
few
there.
residents that are at the end of that road
Yeah.
that fall out of that. And it hits between us and Sugar Hill, and it's just kind of a no man's land.
Yeah.
Would that Greenlee substation help out with that?
Oh yes.
That would be the last one. I mean, if we got that, the only people that would still be in 9S, maybe up Highway 80.
Have you got,
And it would at the very end, because a lot of them are gone now.
have you got a spot that you're already looking at?
We've got a couple spots. Finding land is a little difficult. We've got something in the works that we're hoping will come through, and I don't want to share that right now because I don't think it's public knowledge
Right,
yet.
yeah.
Well, I'd sure love to see that happen. So, any other discussion? We have a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, next we've got Woodlawn Severe. So Keith, is anyone going to speak on his behalf, or?
I can, if that's okay.
It's good, it's fine.
They
with
were
us.
unable to be able to do the work commitments, and it's appreciated for those that could make it miss work. Ms. Bell and I, as well as Mr. Keller and Mr. Presley, met with representatives of Woodlawn Severe Fire Department in the past week. Their request is a little bit different than the prior two. Several years ago, you allowed for their, what I'll call their main district, to have a rate increase up to 11 cents. And their main district, what I mean, is around what you know is the Woodlawn community, where Coates American is, their fire department is, that general area. Probably 10, 12, years ago, commissioners created what we call a split district with Parkway Fire and Rescue, primarily for, like has been talked about, serving areas that are outside of a 5 or 6 mile district. And so that split district primarily focuses, starting around Cox's Creek and going up toward Little Switzerland. It's primarily that area. And when you increase the main district to 11, the split one was not carried along with it, and probably should have. And so what they're asking for in Parkway is also in concurrent, since they share the proceeds, would be to increase from 8 cents to 11 per hundred for those taxpayers up in that district.
So the main area, which is the lower part, stays the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They've got a rough area up in there, so.
I make a motion we approve the joint resolution of concurrence between the Little Severe Fire Department and Parkway Fire and Rescue squads as presented.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Pass
There
on
we
the
go.
word.
All right, thank you, guys. We'll move on now to item B, which would be the human service update. Ms. Sarah Brewer, floor is yours, ma'am. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Hi, everyone. Looking for a PowerPoint, possibly, to Mr. Williams getting that. Thank you. I wanted to say thank you for letting me
It's
come
in
and talk to
their,
you.
if it didn't get to them, it's in their,
Okay,
on their computer.
very good then. Thank you. I wanted to make sure that you guys had had an opportunity to see the Energy Programs Outreach Plan. That might have been given to Mr. Brown, maybe, for review. It's a plan that we have to come up with every year that talks about how we're going to educate the community about the energy assistance programs and information about how to utilize the resources that we have at our agency. And I provided that to you guys for approval, and just wanted to make sure that there were no questions about that.
Move we approve the request.
Second.
Thank you.
Discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you. I also provided a copy of the Subsidized Child Care Assistance Program plan. That essentially is a plan that we come up with Southwestern, who handles our child care in the community, for what we're gonna do for prioritizing a wait list for child care needs in the community. I talked to Mr. Wooten about this particular program, and really wanted to educate myself more about why there are wait lists, what the need is. I know that we have a lot of families that could probably benefit from the subsidized childcare, and so I do have a meeting in June, with the folks from Southwestern to kind of hone in on some of those issues as to why there would be a wait list. But what I presented to you is our the policy for the prioritization of the wait list, and wanted to see if you had any questions about that.
I think it's a good policy.
Do you need approval on that also?
Yes.
Yes,
Make a motion. Oh, wait a minute.
So moved.
thank you.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
I wanted to speak with the commissioners about children's services and just kind of give you an update on how things are going. I have been in this role as director for 6 months now, and wanted to take an opportunity to just kind of share with you all and the community what we're working on. And so I've been working on several things, so I don't want to bore you, but one of the most important things that I began to do in November was analyze the structure of what was going on at the department. I quickly saw a need for internal policies and procedures, or protocols, I will call them, of just kind of things that we needed to do in order to move the work along. Those protocols included establishing a need to assess the safety of children on a much higher level. That included evaluating the training needs and requirements of the staff, implementing a routine and consistent case management staffing process, and implementing a child safety staffing team. What I did was I decided that we needed internal structure for cases, how they're funneled through, how they're discussed, the level of supervision that needs to happen with every single case, every single service every single child that we're working with, and implemented those into our practice. The internal procedures also talk about what your court reports look like, when they're due, when you need to have documentation entered into the system so it can be reviewed by your supervisor. Those types of things were discussed, prayed about, and put into place in order to help the structure of what we do. When I took on this role, it was no secret that we're under a corrective action plan with the state. And what I decided to do at that moment was to embrace that, to take every single ounce of feedback that the state was providing to us about the work that we were doing. And I decided that I was going to invite them into every meeting that I possibly could in order to get their feedback so they could see what we're doing, and get their feedback if they had a different idea or, so it was a kind of a different approach. Instead of being afraid of the process, I decided that we were going to embrace it at our department, and we have essentially done that with the work that we're doing. We had a quality control position at our office. I amped that up. That position began to review cases on a much higher level than they were before. They were pulling 2 cases from each service level in every area of children's services. So 2 investigations, 2 in-home services cases, and then 2 permanency plan and files. We began a process of weekly reviewing that with our staff and with our workers. So every week we placed ourselves in a meeting where we were having an internal review of our work. The tool that the quality assurance person used was essentially a tool by the state. So we took the state's standard of what they'd come in and look for in our cases, and we turned that into our internal review. From that meeting, from those meetings weekly, we learned about things that we need to work on, things that were going great, things that we need to invest some time in fixing or restructuring. And so with that data, we implemented real changes into our practice, into what we were doing at Children's Services. And so we've utilized that position in a way that will only benefit us and benefit our clients. I looked at program structure a lot, and made the decision that we need a dedicated Children's Services program manager. And so we now have a program manager that's just dedicated to Children's Services, and that's Miss Carla Reed. That is going to be her sole function and will be, because of all the needs that we have in that department and because of the staff. We created a weekly on-call position. As you all know, prior to my coming, the workers were on a rotation for on-call, which means if you worked an 8-hour day, sometimes a 10-hour day, and then you were on call that night, you might be out all night long assessing the safety of a child, and then you have to come in the next day and carry out what was on your schedule, right? And so decided real quickly that that would improve turnover, stress of the workers, and would provide consistency for our community partners such as law enforcement or emergency services when they're calling us out in the middle of the night. And so we have an on-call position through the week and then a dedicated worker through the weekend, which has helped. Constantly assessing the functionality of the teams and the structures and the supervision, making sure that we have good quality supervisors that have the proper training and who are able to supervise in a way that we would like for them to supervise. I've been working really hard on community partnerships. That is something that we talked about when I took this position. We had all had a conversation about that. Just to name a few, McDowell County Schools, that is one partnership I'm proud of. We met with Dr. Grit early on to establish the need for a better collaboration between our department and the school system, to talk about kids that we're worried about or things that they're seeing that they need for us to work on or vice versa, just to improve the collaboration within the school system. And that was a very good meeting, and we're looking forward to plans in August to expanding that. I've met with the Department of Juvenile Justice and made a plan with them about how we can partner with them about children that they're worried about who they're working with through their program. I've been doing a lot of work with Grace Community Church, who've offered a lot of support to us in the additional things that we're doing, not connected to child safety, but extra things that we want to do for the children who are in our system. We meet with the Guardian Ad Litem program. I've met with Freedom Life Ministries, met with Children's Home Society, and of course Live Like Megan is something that we've continued to partner with them on. I've also met with the McDowell Library and the Sheriff's Department, and we'll continue those partnerships and continue to grow what we're doing in the community to work with the people who help keep children safe. Another part of what we've been doing is really trying to get a grip on just our money, the budget. And so, as you know, the state allocates certain amounts of money for different services that we provide, and there's a reimbursement to that. And so I knew quickly that that was something that I wanted to get a grip on and to learn. I have invited the state into our building once a month. Sometimes she comes twice a month, and she works solely with myself and our accounting tech and that supervisor to make sure that we maximize the reimbursements, because we want to make sure that every service that we do, that we provide to the community and to the children, that we get our reimbursement for that. So that's something that we've been doing that's been really helpful in order to make sure that we get that reimbursement for our services. We created a child safety staffing team. That team consists of myself, the program manager. I invited the state rep to come in. We also have another provider that the state has recommended that comes in and sits on those meetings. They're 2 times a month, and we talk about cases we're worried about, cases where, you know, we're working with a family and we decide what needs to happen in order for us to feel good about the safety of the child. And if that doesn't happen, we're taking it to the next level and staffing it with the attorney to figure out what we need to do. That is also something that we have done that we're proud of, and we feel like helps keep children safe in the community. We've been growing our in-home services program. I think I talked to you guys about that at another commissioners meeting, but I'm growing that team that works with families prior to us getting to the point where we have to take custody. I want to work with families. I want to try to make sure that they understand the safety concerns that we have, and if we can keep them safe in the community and work with the family, that's what we're trying to do. And so we're trying to grow those programs that help support children staying with their families, because it's important. It's important to us and it's important to our families. We're trying to reduce staff turnover. That I think we talked about that last meeting. That is a problem that I think will be around for a while in this work. It's a high stress job and there's always a turnover, but we're really working to support our staff there and to keep them employed with us, because it's important for the children and for the people of the community. We have implemented a permanency critical case staffing team. That team is devoted to talking about children that were worried about who stayed in foster care a little too much longer than we wanted them to. We're pulling in people from the community who can help partner with us in order to get those children's services and get them connected with people who would be interested in being a permanent plan for them, whether that be their relatives that we haven't explored yet, whether that be an adoption agency. We're just really trying to help push those cases along and make sure that those children achieve permanency in our community. We conducted a mock trial with our community partners and with some of the attorneys in the court system to try to educate and instruct our workers about the court process and testimony and how important that is in the court process. The last thing that I'll talk about that we have done is we have really tried to grow and expand our links in 18 to 21 programs. Those are the programs that help support children who are age 13 to 21 in the community. A couple of Tuesdays ago, we had a Cinco de Mayo party where we invited all those children to come, and they did an educational assessment when they came. And we had fun with them and ate food with them, and they were able to connect with some of their peers in the community that maybe they didn't know they were in foster care. But it was great for me to see and hear these kids talking with one another, because they realized I'm not the only one who's in this situation. And so we're going to take opportunities like that to get this group of kids together. We're going to take them to Topgolf with Grace Community Church in June, and they're so excited about it. They were telling the other kids that they know who would be eligible to go. We're looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to a resource fair in August. We'll partner with Grace Community Church to help educate our foster children about educational opportunities or career opportunities that they might be interested in, to help them, just support them to transition into being young adults. And so we're really growing that program. We also are working on housing for 18 to 21-year-olds. We have noticed that when they age out of foster care, unfortunately, there's not a lot of resources in our community. Our options are limited. And so with the help of Grace Community Church and the Quinn family, We are working on securing housing for them. And this will be a place where they not only get a place to live, but they get mentorship, they'll get educational planning, financial planning, and a group of people who are there to support them transitioning out of foster care into adulthood. And so we're really excited about those programs, some good things we're doing, and just wanted to take an opportunity to see if you guys had any questions about what we've been doing for the last 6 months.
It's obvious you've been busy.
I skipped over a lot of it because I felt like it was too much, but thank you.
I
Yes,
do want
we've
to say
been-
that the expanding of the partnerships and continuing to externally grow those relationships, I think is very important. So congratulations on that, and congratulations on the transparency too. Being more transparent is always good, and so thank you for that too.
Thank you.
The home in Old Fort,
Yes.
with his passing, was that thing set up to continue? Okay.
Yes, sir.
he,
We have
uh,
visited, we have discussed, we've even made contracts with them. It's not ready. They had some issues, I think, with the state,
Yeah.
that held them up with licensing. They're not officially licensed yet, because of the issues with the house. But yes, they are planning to continue to roll with that. It's a very nice facility.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
Yeah.
deal.
One thing, since you brought that up, I would love to, and I'd make this suggestion to the board today, that we make a resolution that would honor Pastor Wishon for his
That was his
role
vision.
in starting that. It was his idea, and he saw it come to play. So I think we need to recognize him.
It's a great idea.
Do I hear a motion on that?
I make a motion that we as staff proceed forward with the recommendation of the board on ways to honor Mr. Wishon in his desire to have that home up and running and helping kids who need help.
Second.
Okay. Motion second, other discussion. All in favor on that, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Mr. Wooten, if you'll
Wait,
take care of that.
I wanted to say to Sarah, the community partners that you've helped build, that was one of the things that I know we all talked about in your interview process, and you have just hit a home run with that. And from being at the courthouse to being in the public, I've had attorneys stop me, I've had conversations with judges, and them just say, you're doing an amazing job, and the relationship that you've built with them, from law enforcement, EMS, you've really went out there and really tried to help rebuild that relationship, and I love to see it. The mock trial for the workers, definitely needed, and so I know that you saw that there was a need, and then you just added that to your plate. And it's gonna better serve our community. It's gonna better serve the kids, because they're gonna know, what they're gonna have to do when they get on the trial, on the stand, and that's amazing. The Links program, I feel like the 18 and 21-year-olds kind of get lost in the wash whenever they turn 18, and so just trying to find a place for them keeps them off the street, keeps them from being the couch kid. And so all of those things that's just 4 of the many things that you mentioned, that were just in addition, that just came after you seeing a need, after you took this role on. And I thank you. You really are doing an amazing job, not just because we matched today, but because I see you and what you do on a daily basis. And so thank you so much for what you're doing for the kids and the adults in this community.
Thank you.
And also tag in real quick, which is you going ahead and bringing the state in, they're going to check your stuff out anyway. Love that. That's great.
Thank you.
Have you had any preliminary discussions with the incoming DA?
No, I have not. That is one.
Probably not a bit too early.
Nope, I have not done that, but thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Get that established ahead of time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Brewer.
I want to say too, before I exit the podium, I love my job, and I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to do this. There are so many challenges with it, but I love the work, and I'm thankful.
Well, we
We
appreciate
think you're
that.
up to the job, up to snuff.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along to other business. Item A under that would be the Republic Service Contract Renewal. Mr. Wooten?
Yes, sir. It's hard to believe it's been about 10 years, and we were in the other building hearing from think it was Tracy Nestor with Republic Services on our hauling disposal contract. The time has come to consider an extension on that. But before doing so, Ms. Bell, Mr. Riddle, and I did have a conversation separately about the feasibility and possibility of another firm serving McDowell County's needs. And honestly, they're just not there. There are very few, if any, options outside of Republic. And I think there's a word for that. But Republic serves us well. They do have challenges at times, typically related to the company that hauls the waste from our site to the landfill in Caldwell County. And we can shut down our gate sometimes because of that. They have a struggle getting trailers. And so trust me, whenever I get the call, Mr. Riddle's already calling, I'm calling somebody, because I don't want people to call you guys to say, why is the gate closed? I have to move on and make business happen.
Actually, how many, just that way we'd be better equipped to handle questions in the public, and when they do come up, because it's a topic that we do get beat up on sometimes. So how many providers that would be capable of handling our trash around western North Carolina?
Republic's the only one we're aware of.
Okay.
So Buncombe
And then
maintains
two,
and runs
when
their
they
own,
say,
but-
well, let's start our own landfill burning, destroy. Okay, talk about that.
burning waste.
How many are
There's-
licensed in the
We
state?
talked about that, about 10, 12 years ago.
Probably the last this time.
How many are licensed in the state?
There is, to my knowledge, I'll stand corrected, there's one incinerator in North Carolina. It's in New Hanover County.
So you got one in western North
If you can-
Carolina and one
Very-
incinerator in North Carolina.
Yeah, we just need to come up, when people suggest that, just mention the $20 million cost on that.
Very, very expensive, a lot of regulation, even with having maybe more regulation-friendly
Saying, where do they want it to go?
agencies. Unfortunately, the best solution, if the waste is generated in this area, is to put it in a landfill. Ideally, the waste isn't being generated, it's being recycled, which is, or not generated altogether. There is a proposal as well to extend our recycling contract, again with the same firm. On that one, we did look at an option that exists in Asheville called curbside. They're known as Kirby. Kirby seems to be a great outfit. However, we would have to get the material to them. They will not transport. And so we do not have 18-wheelers and trailers and all the things that would require. And so, again, we have very few options, unfortunately, but it's the best we have. It's the only we really have, either one of them.
Make a motion to approve the request as presented.
Second.
Motion second, discussion?
It's amazing to me how that you can bring your groceries home in the console of the car, and it takes 4 pickups to haul the trash out.
That's a
That's
fact.
about the way it goes. Most of it's packaging.
Other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Thank you.
Item B would be discuss the statutory revenue option. Mr. Wood.
Thank you. I think you could probably say I put this on here based on questions you have asked over time, maybe not as a board, but maybe individually. And it's very timely for 2 reasons. One being so much discussion around property tax reform, but also with it being the budget season. So I've put together probably a list, Association of County Commissioners or somebody had out there, or school of government, somebody. There might be a revenue option not here that we're not currently using. That is, the heavy equipment tax comes to mind, where you can charge heavy equipment a different way, and there's rental vehicle fees, and we have no rental programs anymore in the county. So I listed the ones that probably have any sort of relevance to you. If definitely not interested in all of them, but the first, and I'll just kind of go through the list if it's okay. The first that has been discussed here and there is the Article 46 sales tax. And the Article 46 for anybody interested, it comes from North Carolina General Statute 105, and Article 46 is the quarter-cent sales tax that was authorized about, 12, 15 years ago, would be required to be passed by referendum. There's been one attempt here for that to happen. And as of this writing, 48 counties, the population or voters have passed that. Rutherford County has passed it probably most recently in our region, and it was 100% linked up to school capital needs in that county. And so where there's been success, typically there's been an interest group latch onto it like there as far as the educational system to push for, hey, if you pass this is additional revenue to help replace the schools. I'm sure there's different stories for the other 47 counties, but typically there's good marketing along with it. Counties are not able to spend money directly on the advocacy, and so usually you have, like a school system probably can, even though they're county funded. Chambers of Commerce usually can, or there's nonprofits or other interest groups that push those.
Could it be used on a solid waste system?
Sure, any of these indirectly or even very directly can, as far as the next one.
So, if we can't spend money to advocate for it directly, but the school can, remind me, is there a requirement that you have to tie it to something or
No, sir.
not?
It
So you
could
don't
be,
have to necessarily, but we could take that quarter-cent sales tax, give that to the schools, and that frees up,
You're supplanting your money, basically, yeah.
that frees up the other
Sure.
money for other things that we need.
Yeah. That'd be a way to get the schools, Rutherford County did it, it passed overwhelmingly for the schools, right?
I think it was over
And we tried it,
70%.
and we didn't tie it to anything, really, and it failed miserably.
You have to have probably a good tie-in for some.
But we'd have to be very careful that if we did that, if we tied it to the schools, that every penny of it.
There have been some counties that have pushed for arrangements like this in the past, and future boards can undo those arrangements.
Oh, yeah. I know.
And some of that buyer's remorse, whatever you might want to call it, has not gone over well for the partner agencies that have said, well, we thought this is forever, and priorities change, and so that can be where it's not tied to debt like the school situation in Rutherford County. It can
I've always
be
been
problematic.
convinced that we needed that to pass, but anytime you put something on the ballot and you put the word tax with it, people are gonna vote no.
Unless they're educated enough to know what it's about. I mean, I think that's what
There's some of
Rutherford,
it you can't educate enough. They will not,
Vote
they
for a
will not
tax.
accept it.
but Rutherford did.
Yes, ma'am, that's the
It's
most
possible.
recent in this area. The next item, and please interrupt and ask questions, of course. The next one is a solid waste household availability fee. I don't have the number of counties on here, but I believe at least 50 that have adopted some form of fee. Typically, the counties that have implemented an availability fee, it's usually around a minimum of $100 per year that is added to the cost of someone's tax bill. And some counties add that to just, and I put here residential. There are a few that put it on any improved property. So if it's Baxter Healthcare, for example, and I'm not, there may be some that have like a square footage calculation, but without doing one, their fee might be 100 or 150, whatever, as opposed to maybe something else. A lot of counties that do this, I'd say most, they will couple this fee with your homestead exemptions for elderly. So they might not wipe it out completely, but they reduce it greatly for folks that are enrolled in any the exemption or reduction programs, so that they might be paying $25 or something like that.
At that rate of $100 per se, what would that be? About $600,000 a year that would send back to the county?
It's closer to 2 million.
Oh, really?
Closer to 2 million.
Wow,
So,
that's good.
If you did assess that fee, does the tipping fee at the scale go away?
Some counties do it differently. Most that we've been able to determine, you pay, if you cross, you pay. I've seen one county play out where they implemented a fee, they already had a scale fee, and they talked of ways to try to kind of get to
I
where
don't
they're
think
going
you
with
could have both.
the struggle you get into is accounting for those households where, and I've seen all examples, trust me, I've looked into it, where Mrs. Smith is unable to transport waste. So she has her grandson transport waste on her behalf up across the scale. And again, the scale house is oriented not for typical household solid waste. It's oriented towards unusual situations. I'm cleaning out my basement, I tore off half of the house or whatever. It's not meant for usual situations for folks to go up there. That's what the convenience sites are for. And so it can be tricky. Well, I'm taking this for my grandmother, and so you need to credit that to my grandmother's account. And I'm not saying just because things are difficult not to do it. It can be that the devil's in the details, as the saying goes. It could be hard for the staff to, if someone comes 12 times and verifying that it's grandma's waste, or it's your cousin's waste, or it's your neighbor's waste. We see that a lot now where, well, this is residential waste, when we had the no fee for residential. Okay, well, is it really? And so people aren't always honest when they cross that scale, because it involves paying money, and we understand that, but it would make lives much more interesting for the people at the scale and the finance office.
What about
How much money do we bring in from the scales?
2.3 million.
Okay, so if we,
you would basically be pulling a $200 and some annual fee.
yeah, it wouldn't be,
With the scale fees.
it wouldn't be worth, if we got rid of the one, I mean, I know when I'm gonna throw a couch away, I'm gonna have to pay to throw the couch away. But it wouldn't be worth us doing it if we were gonna take that fee away and then have to pay more for that fee than we would be bringing in. Cause we're already paying all of this out of the general fund, correct? Like
The transfers at a 1.7.
1.7 million already this year.
So if we took that fee away, it wouldn't be worth doing this.
Yeah, I don't know, that's,
Rob
that's
Peter to
something
pay
to
for.
do, I guess, do have some more thought about.
What were you thinking? Do the fee and keep going across the scale?
Probably.
I still
if you're
think that people would rather see a $200 addition added to their bill yearly as pay that two different.
Well, I had a discussion with a citizen this morning that indicated, why should I pay for your trash? If I'm gonna take my trash to the convenience center or whatever, or if I'm gonna do like some folks do and burn it in a barrel outside, why should I pay $200 a month for somebody else?
Well, it'd be a year.
Well,
It'd be $100 a year.
Yeah, I misstated that, but the principle's the same. If they're,
I see
This-
what you're saying.
this is like another tax. Anytime we're gonna have to do something, I know that, but I tell you,
But I mean, the trash is, I mean, unless you're burning it in a barrel, I'm still taking my trash to the convenience sites, but then I also have to pay to
Well,
take
the
my
thing is,
trash.
there's gotta be something that separates commercial from residential, you know.
So
You've always
that's my
got-
question. Your garbage.
You've always
pay-
gotta separate the
Well,
two.
I pay to have mine picked up anyway.
So those guys, that's where I'm going.
And they're,
Those guys, do they pay to go across the scale? If they're your-
currently, no. If it's residential, they do not pay.
See? But, here's the thing. If I go up there with 2 bags of trash, let's just say I cross the scale, with 2 bags of trash, I'm gonna pay a $5 fee, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You
But
pay
that
a
guy that-
tonnage fee, but the minimum is.
Correct. But that guy that's picking up my trash in a 2-ton truck, and he goes across the scale, by your answer right there, he's not paying anything, correct?
That's
No.
right.
But he's picking up my money every month along with my trash.
If you'll remember, I
get
brought
free
that
ride
up
for a
about,
long
I brought
time.
that up about 8 years
Well,
ago,
why
and
is
it was
why
voted
is it
down.
that way?
Private haulers that are registered, that are hauling residential waste are treated no differently than the city of Marion. You're not allowed, and so I'll talk about the city for a second. When they bring residential waste across the scale, they do not pay. They do when it's commercial, but not residential. You're not allowed to charge the city for the residential waste because you do not charge at the convenience sites. And so I think the logic has been, you don't charge the convenience sites, you're therefore not allowed to charge the disposal fee to the city resident via the city.
Is that a
collection.
statute somewhere?
Yes,
says
sir.
that? Okay.
When you asked this probably 7 or 8 years ago, we went through a lot of research into that, and we're told and pointed out that through those, and then I think why the private haulers were not treated differently was, well, we can't do this to the city, which is doing the same as the private
The city
haulers.
shouldn't
so
be
let's just
allowed to
leave
charge
it.
us.
A city's a governmental unit.
I just said
And
we
then
should charge them
a private
70,000.
company's a private company, for-profit private company. A city's a you must as well call county and city government nonprofits, but, because they just provide all these services. But to me, the guy that starts a business and picks up your trash down the road and charges you whatever he's charged you, he's getting off free,
That's not right.
scot-free.
That's not right.
It
I mean,
ain't- it
unless
ain't
he's
right.
putting it in the convenience, I mean,
They ain't.
why is he going over
Well, they
the
shouldn't
scale?
do that either.
But I'm just saying,
Why
Bottom
is it
line
way-
is they're crossing the scale for free.
I think it goes back to that line of thinking, whether that's good,
Do
bad,
we,
or
do we
different.
have a contractor who's tearing down a house or doing remodeling? When he brings his stuff,
He pays for it.
somebody else, does he
They
pay
pay.
for
He
it?
pays for it.
Well, what, the trash hauler ought to pay for it.
Well-
Up to this point, there's been a delineation between C and D type waste and residential MSW municipal solid waste. Glad to look into it if
I
that
tried
would
to
be.
get that done
I
8
would
years
like
ago.
to see if
10.
that statute really
Applies to private.
designates them the same as, and you may be right, I'm just,
And I'm not saying it treats them the same as a city, very clear on the city, but I think there had been a delineation to lump them in with the city because it's a close
Hey,
equivalent.
should the city not, is there not a statute that states they can't jack us up on the water we buy from them?
oh, I'm sitting here thinking the same
And,
thing.
Just we're gonna charge them
but yet we
70,000
We gotta take
dump
all their
their
trash
trash.
free,
Well,
find a statute for
maybe won't
that.
go there, but would you like for us to look into
Absolutely.
the private hauling side of things?
yes, because I mean, this, out of all of the examples you gave, I mean,
That's low hanging fruit.
this is, and figuring out if we didn't, I get people saying, I don't wanna pay to go over the scales, but you're also paying to dump bigger items when you pay to go over the scales. So there's also has to be a common sense to that. And so I just don't, it wouldn't be offsetting if we took that fee away. We would still be paying, how much would we be bringing in, and we need to be bringing in more money. How could we do that if we took the scale pay away? But if you can run those numbers and help us understand that,
And the guy that picks up my trash, I don't care to tell you, I pay $25 a month, and they pick it up every Monday. If he has to go up on me $5, to cover that fee for every how many ton it is on his truck, I don't care,
Pass it around.
because I'm paying him to do it anyway.
I don't know, so I think somebody kind of formulated maybe a motion, I'm gonna put words in your mouth, but to look into it,
I
not
think by
implement it.
consensus you can do it, you're gonna have to do it anyway.
I'll take the consensus.
Yeah, I think, absolutely, I'm all for it.
So we'll bring, for the June meeting, if not sooner, either a recommendation, it might be baked into the budget.
Yeah,
I don't know, but,
it'd be a good place to put it.
I will bring that back. Move it, is it okay to move on to the
Yeah.
next one? The next one, is a county vehicle registration fee. Counties may assess a fee of up to $7 per registered vehicle. The proceeds are used to offset transit operations. Based on the number of vehicles we have registered in the county, it's about $300,000 of revenue. And so with the expense of the system, as well as, I think someone talked about supplanting, maybe having to do with sales tax. If this fee were implemented, it is a cost, of course. It would allow funds being spent on one function to be spent on something else, perhaps.
Are they, to ride the express, I know that they try to bill, but they try to get where they bill, but now as far as money going in, when they get on one of the express vans, is there money going in there and they're paying that way, or is it all billing where you bill somebody?
It's $250.
It's
right?
electronically, they use their credit cards or debit cards,
Okay.
there's no cash.
Okay, great. Well, what do we charge to ride?
$250,
$250
one way.
one way? How's that compared to other counties close to us that operate transit systems? Have you done any kind of a dive on that?
I think, I can't think of the word I'm trying to,
So there needs to be, and I don't know if there is or not, there needs to be up to a certain
It needs to be
amount
tied
of
to how much
miles.
gas is.
You know, you can't haul people back and forth to Baxter's for $2.50.
and so their service area is pretty limited for express, and it's only, I think, within 5 miles of downtown Marion and now Old Fort.
Yeah.
And so you can't go to Baxter on express. It's only essentially in the 70 corridor going right to the.
But they do have the other option.
Right, so,
For what?
most of your other, there are some trips to Baxter under the, employment program. We receive what's called ROPE funds. The employment part is probably the one we get most excited about. It tends to run out just because the state doesn't, or federal money doesn't go to very far. We do receive money for Medicaid, for medical trips, of course, but the funding that we receive operationally from the state and federal agencies is pretty limited. I don't think it really doesn't grow.
I want to make a request that we have data brought back so we can see what that is. Similar counties on the
Okay,
express.
yes, sir.
Jason has done that before, but it would be good if we could have him come back in and make that presentation again.
Out of the different options being looked at, I mean, this one, I mean, a fee is another way of saying a tax, but, you know, it's more easily implemented than the other two I've mentioned. And just because it was on a list, I'll mention it. The other two, I know there's no interest of having an ABC board, but it is a revenue option for counties. And then the last one is a pet licensing fee. We wouldn't recommend this one either. We had a dog tax years ago, and I think Chuck would joke we had about 7 dogs in the county.
And they were all mine.
It is an option.
You're an honest person.
Well, we had 3 of them at my house.
Yeah, and you probably have some people that would pay just because, but you would have to list it, have a listing period, or you tie it into licensing through rabies tags and things. And it's a lot of work for very little money, but it is an option and I did want to put it on there. So, again, mostly information, but there's some action that you're putting on us, which is the whole point, to generate conversation. So I'll work on those two things you asked about
Okay.
in the meantime.
All right, let's move along then to administrative and budget items, Mr. Wood.
Thank you. We talked about transit. He has a couple different things asking for approval under his 5311 program. There's a purchasing policy and a no-show policy for express riders.
They absolutely need the no-show policy. When folks call and then just don't show up, or you take a
How
van
would you charge them? I mean, how would you get your money out of them?
I don't know if it's based on the completion, but it essentially says if you no-show us, you're not going to be able to ride for a while. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
penalty.
that's part of it.
Or if whenever they call in and if you could get their credit card then over the phone when they make the appointment.
Because it is app-based, so I don't know.
The only problem with that is that we would be retaining credit card or debit card information.
Yeah.
Which puts us in a higher security.
Yeah.
And our policy is now, we do not retain credit card or debit card
Well, that's
information.
good. It's good.
It might be worth, I mean, the cost might be more than the $5 that we would gain.
Yeah. Okay.
I make a motion we approve or adopt the 5311 funding authorization, the purchasing policy specific to transit, and the no-show policy for express riders.
Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
So the next item is the Trails and Trains Festival is asked for an annual contribution. Since this wasn't in the budget, I wanted to make sure it was brought before you. It's
What did we give them last year?
4,000 was the request
Same
last year and this year.
Have we got it?
We have a little bit left in our economic development line item. We could pay for it out of there.
Make a motion we do it.
Motion.
Second.
Second. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed?
The next item, you've approved essentially using the same auditing firm for 3 years, but their auditors, they've requested that you vote each year of those three. And so we have the audit contract for fiscal year 26.
Go ahead, Neil.
Are you happy with them? Are you happy with them?
They're mean.
Well, then we'll change.
No, they're good, they're
Okay.
good.
Move we approve the audit contract.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then the last, I believe, are the budget amendments, including the one passed out today, which also includes a reimbursement resolution for a vehicle for soil and water.
Move that we approve the administrative items, budget items as presented.
Motion
That's
and a second.
GF 67 for the record.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Actually, did the city ever get back to you on the rezoning for the rec department?
I've asked a couple times, I'll ask again. The last I heard was the planning director was working on a memo that would give us the good, the bad of having our two properties rezoned.
But
I'll ask.
remind again,
Mr. Ayers.
real quick, we needed to rezone because of the,
Grant.
The grant.
The
we're
grant.
looking at. Yes, sir.
so, and that's been 2 months now, you've been asking for that?
I think so.
I make a motion, we request the city manager, request our manager to contact the city manager, and we want to answer back immediately. I mean, we got time to wait on this.
Are we out, can we
mean-
not get the grant? No, I mean, do we have to reapply? Like, what was?
If they had rezoned it the day after it was due, we'd have to reapply
Tired of
anyway.
the city
So
doing this
we
way.
have all the information to resubmit it.
And reminding again, how much the grant was for? I mean, it was to
Oh,
change
golly
a
gee.
lot of things.
It was several $100,000.
So they're holding up the $200,000 grant
I
because
don't
of
know,
what?
it's like 500. It's
500,000?
new bathrooms, new
Well,
flooring,
what
new windows,
are they saying?
new gym floor.
The holdup initially was there was not good information from the state agency that the property had to be zoned in a certain way. And they had no, they let us know after it was applied for that it was ineligible. After they'd worked several weeks with Mr. Kazee on the application. They said, oh, by the way, maybe they looked at it.
Being
that
they,
way.
being the city,
The
the
state.
planning of
The state, the state said, oh gosh, we just realized this is not zoned properly after all the work is
So
done.
just
So
a
the-
technical thing.
So the state was part of the problem, not the city, is that what we're saying?
It's always fun to pick on the state, but they maybe didn't ask the question, maybe they assumed we knew the
Right.
proper zoning or whatever, but I'll reach out. Was the vote made for the reach out to city manager? Regardless,
Oh, yeah, I'll make a motion to call the city council, the city manager, whoever you need to talk to, and tell them we didn't answer. They're holding up a grant.
Second?
Is that a motion?
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's a motion, yeah.
All right, we got a second discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
do it when we adjourn.
Aye.
That's all I have.
Your motion, we adjourn.
No, let's don't.
It's done.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.